Hello, universe. Welcome to AD Podcast. And today with us, we have a scientist from Canada, none other than Geoffrey Stone. He is the author of the book, But Where is the Rainbow? And similarly, with us, we have Scientist Arif Ali, Youth of the Nation 2023, and the author of The Ancient Theory of Everything. He's also the author of the book From Newton to Now. Welcome, Arif. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Similarly, with us we have musical Einstein, a guy who likes doing experiments with music, singer of the song Marhaba Ya Mustaba. So, welcome, musical Einstein. Welcome to AD Podcast.
Thank you. And similarly, we have a very specially talented Mr. D. Sapkota, who is the mastermind behind this AD podcast, the MBA guy, the researcher, and a very gentleman fellow of us. Welcome to your own show.
Hello,
Thank you. Thank you.
Very excited that this is our first podcast when we are four
Yeah.
in one video. And thanks, Geoffrey, for being here, for your time.
I'm completing the four, yeah.
Yeah. You are the fourth dimension.
Till late, we were like first, second, and third dimension. Now we have the fourth dimension with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Sir Geoffrey. Thank you for being with us, giving your time to Nepal, to our theory, to Arif sir. Thank you very much.
And today we are going to have like lot of comedy as well.
So Geoffrey, it's been like 3 to 4 days in Nepal. We even did a very huge event at Dayglow banquet yesterday. I'm certainly going to put the video of a little glimpse of our video right after this conversation. And it's been like 4 to 5 days that you are here in Nepal. So what do you like about Nepal? What's the similarities between your country and Nepal?
There's similarities. I guess people in Canada are known to be polite and nice and friendly, and I find people in Nepal are very friendly as well. And so there's that, I guess. Yeah, it's really hot here.
I am very much interested in the differences because recently I got to hear from you that you found a cow
Yes,
in your
yes.
hotel, right? I want to hear.
I would not expect. Yeah, in the hotel lobby, I was just walking, and I was like, I don't think I can go down the hallway because there's just a cow there. And I wasn't like sure if it was a nice cow or should I get too close to it?
Or a wild one.
Yeah. It would try to like push me or something. I don't know.
What else did you find in your hotel?
I found a gecko as well. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, a lizard.
Yeah. I like that. It's like having a nice little pet. It's kind of shy. It just kind of makes noise every now and then. Eats some bugs.
Yeah.
But they're cool. I like them. My favorite.
The skeleton is like it looks very similar to dinosaurs. Have you ever like seen it?
Well, that's what dinosaur means. Terrible lizard, right? Because I guess, when we first found their bones, we immediately recognized they look like lizards. And they're closely related anyway, right? That's basic. Well, all reptiles. Actually, is it all reptiles? Probably not all reptiles, but most reptiles and birds are descended from dinosaurs.
Descendants from
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, so dinosaurs are like a type of reptile. So you could say reptiles are a more general group and more inclusive. Dinosaurs are a special type because they were able to, their bone structure allowed them to walk upright. So they could cover much more distance. They could migrate across the whole planet every year to get food, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
and birds do the same thing because they learned that from dinosaurs.
Okay.
Actually, there's this guy who has this really wild theory about how dinosaurs died out. Apparently, so the continents drifted apart and dinosaurs migrated on the land.
Yeah, due to the melting of ice after the ice age, right?
Well, it was way before that. So 65 million years ago, 100 million years ago, the plate is like very, very slowly. The continents just
plates.
They're floating on tectonic lava, right?
Yeah.
Somehow that works. They're separating. So the continents were together. They're separating. Then the ocean fills in the gap.
Yeah.
Each year they're a little bit,
Farther and
a
farther.
millimeter further apart, whatever. But gradually it becomes a huge barrier. It cuts off the migration pathways of the dinosaurs. But birds were able to continue because they can just fly over it.
Okay.
So dinosaurs died out, but the birds were fine.
They had to cover a little bit more distance.
Exactly. That's what gave them the additional pressure to evolve to fly.
So, guys, sorry to interrupt you. And now we are going to put an alarm for our 10 minutes later.
Oh, we have the same round today.
Yeah. So, what's going to happen is we're going to put an alarm after 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes of our conversation, whatever the word we speak when the alarm rings, and he has to make a song on that.
Spontaneous, right at that
Spontaneous
time.
song.
And we are going to enjoy.
So, this is...
So the alarm after 10 minutes.
So, yes, after 10 minutes, we are going to hear a very beautiful song by musical Einstein. So, Geoffrey, how are things moving?
Good. I've been here about 5 days, so I'm almost halfway through.
Yeah.
But I'm just, having a blast. Time of my life. It's just great.
Okay, that we take it as a compliment to our hospitality, right? So, and talking more about, you talked about the tectonic plates. The moving of the tectonic plates caused the dinosaurs to extinct, and there is a very sad fact about the tectonic plates when it comes to Nepal. Nepal is a country that lies in between two tectonic plates. It's like there are two tectonic plates, and in between the plates, Nepal is.
That's what created the Himalayas.
Yeah, that's what created the Himalayas, and due to that reason, Nepal faces frequent earthquakes because one plate is trying to get over the another plate. It's just moving and moving and moving. And it is said that after about a million years, there will be no land which we call Nepal today. It will be covered up by another plate. So that is happening, and that is gradually going to happen.
So, I thought if the tectonic plates are moving towards each other, that means it is going to make a kind of bulge, right?
Yeah, that's why we have Mount Everest.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I was asking after millions and millions of years, this place is also going to be covered like a mountain or something?
Yeah, most probably.
Most probably. Yeah. But then the humans, they'll manage something. So, Geoffrey, I would always want to ask to a science guy, in being in person with him, do you believe in time travel?
I don't, but, I don't believe we're capable now, but I guess nobody does. But I'm open to it, but I don't really see how it would work. I don't even believe in time dilation. So,
But actually, I think time dilation is a experimentally proven concept, right?
that's what they say. But I don't. Well, certain types. I think that there is gravitational time dilation, but I think it only applies to atomic clocks.
Only applies to atomic clocks, and it's a very bold statement, right?
Yeah, that's a very bold statement.
Oh,
But
so
we've only measured it with atomic clocks, so.
Yeah.
so it's we can only measure the gravitational time dilation using the atomic clocks,
Right.
and then he's saying it only applies to atomic clocks. What could be the solution for that?
No,
How can
actually, if it is so, the measuring device is itself a problem. So what is the solution? just replace it with another clock, which is that precise. Right now, talking about now, we have clocks like wristwatches, and we have you have wall clocks. All of them are based on quartz. There is a crystal called quartz. It's piezoelectric crystal. So when electric signals pass through the crystal, there is a kind of vibration, and how many times it vibrates in 1 second, that is what we know. It's like above 6,000 times in 1 second, and after it vibrates that much of time, so we call 1 second has passed. So that is how we get time in our clocks. And when it comes to atomic clocks is a very different thing. It is based on cesium atom. It's also called cesium atomic clock. And how many times the excitation is taking place in 1 second. And one excitation is our least count. And it happens like billions of times in 1 second.
Although it's actually, I looked into it, it's actually a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah?
Very complicated. And there's actually different types of atomic clock. But most of them actually are just a quartz crystal.
Yeah.
So that's what actually keeps time. That's the oscillator. But the cesium atom is used as part of a system to keep this clock stable, to keep it ticking at a regular rate. As soon as it's like a regular quartz crystal will start to deviate depending on the temperature and all sorts of factors. But the atomic clock, through the process of with the cesium atom,
It makes the correction.
yeah, very, very quick corrections so that it's never off. That's the thing.
So, what clock are you wearing?
Time travel clock.
I don't know, but this might also be a quartz clock, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm very much fascinated with the clock that you usually wear. You know about his clock? Arif sir has got a clock. He wears almost all of his clock, which goes anti-clockwise. Usually our the things goes like clockwise. How can we explain that? Right?
Yeah, the clock itself is like mirror.
It's flipped.
Because see, whenever we observe our universe, we see that the Earth rotates. The rotation of Earth is in anti-clockwise direction, right? And
It's like an Australian style one, or like a southern hemisphere.
yeah, like southern hemisphere, and we see Earth revolving around the sun. It's anti-clockwise, and sun itself rotating. It's anti-clockwise. The rotation of our galaxy is anti-clockwise. Then I thought, why our clock is clockwise?
Actually, he wanted to synchronize with the universe. You know?
Good.
Actually, so the reason, in case you're curious, it's because we used to use sundials, right?
Yeah.
And in the northern hemisphere,
Northern.
the sundial does go clockwise, like the shadow.
The shadow. If clocks were invented in the southern hemisphere, then every one of us would have like anti-clockwise clocks.
Okay, so there are some places where people wear anti-clockwise clock?
No, it's not that way. Like, see, we use sundials. There is a pole, and based on the shadow of the pole, time is kept. So the shadow goes clockwise direction when the pole is in northern hemisphere. So that happened. So if clock was invented in southern hemisphere, the sundials would give the shadow move
Oh, I got it.
in anti-clockwise direction. But there are some countries that have like anti-clockwise clocks. Like Hebrew clocks are anti-clockwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you get that clock from a civilization from...
No, not from Israel. Not from Israel. I ordered it from somewhere in India.
Oh, okay.
And you know, guys, what happened was like actually one day there was a guy in the house alone, and then his bulb just malfunctioned. You know,
Light bulb?
light bulb, yeah. And then he called a scientist. There was an engineer as well, and he called him to send people who can manage that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, the people who were coming to fix the bulb, they were the fan of general relativity to guy, you know. And then he was surprised to see two guys coming to just fix one bulb, you know. And he asked like, why two guys? And then the other one replied that one to hold the space, one to hold the bulb, and another one to rotate the space.
Come on, man.
So, so
All about frame of reference.
Rotate the whole universe.
I want to ask to Geoffrey, like actually what we are working on the ancient theory of everything and then the relative velocity space theory, we are kind of going against Einstein, right? And have you seen a demonstration in which what they tell is like the Earth is kind of fabric, and then you put something in there, and then it creates a curvature,
Yeah, I think everyone's seen that.
Yeah. But then, do you believe in that?
I've always had a problem with it. I always thought, wait, what's this height of this supposed to, like, in the example, the height or the slope of the fabric represents, gravity is what's pulling it, right?
Yeah.
Straight down. And so the higher the slope, the faster it is. But there's
The
nothing.
higher the slope, the faster.
Higher.
Yeah.
The faster.
It's just kind of a lucky coincidence that the demonstration works. But
Yeah.
it's
Just
not.
because we have gravity here.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain how a warping in space-time creates gravity.
They are using fabric. They are using some fabric to demonstrate space-time.
Yeah.
You understand what is space-time?
So, guys, it's music time. It's not space time.
It's music time.
So like when you were saying like higher the slope, the faster is,
Yeah,
and then the alarm,
Let's go the faster thing.
the faster. So let me hand over the ukulele to our one.
And we'll continue this discussion after this song. Yeah,
Musical break.
musical break. And the word that you came up with when the alarm rang, that was faster. The faster. So he's going to come up with a new song on the faster.
It's gonna be a fast one. Okay.
Yeah, faster. Come faster.
We'll go with. Is it like I have to go with English or I can go? And I'll just try to combine 2-3 different languages.
Okay.
It's multitasking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to take like 60 seconds?
I'll try to start. Let's go. Whatever.
Let's go with the flow.
Yeah. We're going to start today, huh?
मैं हूँ faster, हूँ तेरा master, चले जो पेन मेरा, लिखूं मैं ऐसे, जो मैं लिखता जाऊं, मैं रुक ना पाऊं, ये अब सुनाऊं, क्या ही गाऊं, मैं faster, हूँ तेरा master. Yeah, I'm faster than the light. I'm faster than anything. I'm faster all the way. I'm your master. Oh, मैं faster. हूँ तेरा master. मैं हूँ faster. हूँ तेरा master.
That was what we were waiting for.
Yeah. And we were going a nice song by Musical Einstein. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
spontaneous song, on the faster and
And let's get back to
like how the slope and the faster thing we were talking about, right?
So if you have a clock that is anti-clockwise, does that mean time is going backwards and reverse?
No, I wish I would like get back to my 16.
Yeah, when I saw him 5 days ago, he had like a lot of white hairs,
Okay, it's black now.
So kind of.
So what's going? Yeah, might be anti-aging.
Let's not disclose it.
All the secrets.
Yeah.
So today we have such a wonderful guest with us. Right? I think we should make him sing as well today.
I did a little bit already. I was doing backup vocals.
No, it would be very interesting if Imran plays ukulele and Geoffrey gives a wonderful song. The whole episode.
I'll sing anything.
Yeah?
Anything.
Yeah, we can try it.
As long as I know a tune to hit.
Are we trying it right now?
Shall we?
Sure.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
So what are we going to
I guess just sing something I can like copy you or something. I don't know.
No, you just start. He'll match with you.
You just start and I'll just try to add some words on that song. Let's do it.
All right.
And he's already started.
Happy little gecko crawling on the wall today. Don't know where he's going next. Probably hiding behind a curtain now. Happy gecko crawling on the wall today. Going in the under my bed. Gonna wake me up with his chirping song.
You are my friend Gecko.
You are my friend Gecko. Gecko, friend Gecko.
You are my friend Gecko. Happy little Gecko.
Nice, girl.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I felt like I did a good job,
Yeah.
And I can also see the waist of the musical Einstein.
Yeah, actually,
Where is the rainbow?
I'd like to show you guys, like, this is special merchandise straight from Canada, straight from Sir Geoffrey to me, and thank you very much for your merchandise. So guys, do check out this book. But Where is the Rainbow? It's a very interesting book with some interesting facts and his point of view towards the physics, the modern physics, and lots of different topics that he has covered. So guys, do check out the book from Sir Geoffrey Stone's But Where is the Rainbow?
And we'll get back to the gravity, Einstein's gravity that you were explaining, right?
Okay. So with the cloth demonstration, it relies on gravity. Like you have to have gravity to pull the balls down. In the space-time model, there's no extra gravity pulling anything in any particular direction. This model is supposed to explain how we get gravity.
You can't use gravity to explain
That's what I was.
gravity.
They are explaining gravity using gravity.
Yeah.
So for a real gravity to be experienced, there is no other gravity to support it, right?
Yeah. Perfectly.
So that demonstration is like not reliable.
They have made such a complex explanation. They're comparing that complex explanation with a very simple analogy which is not at all related. Not at all. You can't imagine.
But you know
You
what?
can't imagine a fabric of time and space and put matter on that and add an extra gravity from down below and just demonstrate that thing. So there's a big problem.
But this explanation is like visually it is like for the beginners it seems like this explains it
Because you
for a visual thing.
There are a lot of things, a lot of people who are interested in physics, they want to learn relativity, and this is the only video they have seen about relativity. And they think that is all. And that is not.
just need a piece of cloth and then a ball would work to show that experiment. And I've seen one more experiment in that what they do is like they put up the holes in the water bottle, and then they go to like third floor and fourth floor and then they just drop it from there. And then when they see it in slow motion, what happens is like you can see the water that was spilled being out from the bottle from like sideways, and then that just stops.
As soon as they leave it.
As soon as they leave.
And I'll explain this. Like, we don't need any relativity to understand this. You are dropping two different things, okay, from the same height, and they are going to move at the same speed because the falling thing doesn't depend on on their mass or their properties. They depend on the mass of the Earth that is influencing those bodies gravitationally, right? So as you drop that bottle, water and the bottle, both of them are in the equal influence of gravity, and they fall together, and that's all happening. And when you hold the bottle, you are not letting the bottle fall, but there are holes, so water is falling down. So it's very easy to explain, and not at all related to some weird
What's your
explanation.
take on this?
Yeah, I don't like that demonstration because exactly it's often I saw it used on, I can't remember the name of the talk show, but it was one of those late night shows. It was like Letterman, not Letterman, but like,
Brian Greene did that, I think.
oh yeah, I think it was
Yeah, Brian Greene.
probably
He
him.
did
Yeah.
that experiment, yeah.
And they're both like, he's a physicist and
Yes.
he's pretending this is a demonstration of general relativity, and I'm like, okay, Newton and Galileo knew this perfectly well. Anyone that knows that what's going to happen. This doesn't demonstrate anything, but it's just to get people's attention, and I don't know.
Yeah, because gravity has always been a mystery to the humanity from the very beginning. There's a time when it was said that during the time of Aristotle, it was called the natural position of something, and everything is trying to attain their natural position. The river is flowing so that it wants to go to a place where it belongs actually. So there was that kind of explanation in the beginning, and then there came an explanation that said that anything that is heavier that falls faster. Anything that is heavier sounds practical, but someone would have done the experiment, but they did it very late.
This kind of leads me to some thoughts. I'm not sure where they're going, but how do we? Quite often in physics, you hear people say things like, "If you feel a force." Right. So sometimes you feel a force, sometimes you don't feel a force. So if you're in inertial motion, no force is acting on you, you don't feel a force. If you're falling in an elevator,
Yeah.
and the elevator's falling, you're falling, you don't feel a force.
Yeah.
You're floating.
Free fall.
We thank Gorkha International Travels for the collaboration with AD Podcast र हामी गर्व गर्छौं नेपालको सबैभन्दा उत्कृष्ट ट्राभल एजेन्सीसँग कोल्याबोरेसन गर्नुमा। कुनै ट्रिप प्लान गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने गो फर इट। नेपाली मनका नेपाली पाइलाहरू क्यापिटल सुज। Congratulations Capital Shoes for the collaboration with AD Podcast.
Acceleration is relative too, because if you and your environment all accelerate, you won't feel force. If you all accelerate at the same time, same amount, there's no way to feel the force. That's what I'm thinking, right? I don't know if you agree, but I feel like yeah, you can normally, like in a car or whatever, you feel the acceleration, but that's because you don't want to accelerate, or you don't want to decelerate.
Yeah.
The car is decelerating, so you push against it.
Yeah.
Right? And then your body, parts of your body push against parts of your other body. But if the car and you, everything all decelerate at the same amount at the same time, you don't feel anything. Just a thought. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just think it's
that might be
interesting. Because it's not enough to just talk about whether or not you feel a force. You got to think, why? Why do we even feel a force?
We feel force due to the resistance, right? And if everything around us is moving in the same pace and nothing is resisting our motion, then we are not going to feel the force. Because, for example, when you just imagine you are in a spaceship and you are just moving in a straight line, you are just scrolling TikTok or Facebook, and you're moving, and in between there's a big, huge planet. That is going to influence your motion, right? Now you are moving straight. Now, due to the gravitational influence, you are going to move in the direction of this planet. But although there is acceleration due to gravity, we are never going to feel that. The one who is scrolling TikTok inside the spaceship is never going to know about that acceleration until it hits the planet.
Okay.
Even till it is like just 10 feet away from the planet, it is not going to know that it's getting accelerated. Is that what you're trying to say?
I just answered my own question. So when, say, like an astronaut is just like in orbit around a planet, they feel weightless. They are, if you look at them from outside, you see them moving in a circle. So they must be accelerating, but they don't feel acceleration. The reason is every single part of their body is being pulled at the same amount, accelerating the same amount at the same time. So there's no way to feel it. That's the only reason.
Yes.
If they were being pushed by some object, they would feel it. But because everything's pushing the same amount at the same time, everything's accelerating at the same time, there's no way to know. So if the whole universe was accelerating extremely fast in that direction, there'd be no way to know.
So we might be accelerating, right?
Yeah.
I just think that's why gravity... So one way of explaining is gravity is warping space-time. Another is to say gravity pulls everything at the same amount at the same time, and so you don't feel it. You do feel it if you are bumping up against something. So we're bumping up against the ground, so we feel it now.
If we are falling in a bottomless pit, then we are never going to experience the gravity, right?
Yeah.
Unless we hit the bottom, and since it's bottomless, we are never going to experience it.
Okay, so while we are like, let's say I'm doing a skydiving in Dubai, right?
We did bungee, right? Remember?
No, I didn't do the bungee. Bungee thing.
We went to Pokhara. You've heard of Pokhara? It's a very beautiful part of Nepal.
Okay. No.
And there
I've heard of it, but I just don't remember.
we went there to do bungee
Jumping.
jumping.
Bungee jump?
I know about it. I haven't done it.
You've done it?
I haven't done it, no. But I know about it.
There's a reason.
I did Drop Zone. It's a ride at Canada's Wonderland. It's a theme park.
So they just open the door and you just go down?
It's like a amusement park ride. But yeah, they like
Do you,
everything just like drops and you fall like 200 feet or something.
Okay.
So
But it's safe.
what I was asking is like, if I'm jumping from a plane, so the time when I'm in the sky or in the midway in the air, am I going to feel the gravity at that time?
No.
Until I hit the ground.
Yeah. That's a condition of weightlessness.
You won't even feel that because you're dead so quick. You feel That's the answer. You don't feel gravity. Oh, wait.
Even after you hit the ground. No chance.
And they say like you can do the skydiving without any instrument as well, like without any parachutes or anything.
Yeah, if you but you have to die for that.
No, it's like it's going to be your first and last skydiving.
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And like there are like a lot of theories that say that it's not the something that is being pulled, but then everything is going upstairs, upside, and then
It's the principle of equivalence. It tells that we can say that an apple is falling toward the
or maybe
earth,
like the whole earth went towards an apple,
Yeah, it's same.
General
Relativity says, yeah.
General relativity says, which I always thought was really weird. Like, I took on special relativity with my book. I would not even dream of taking on general relativity. It's general relativity is too much to take on, but maybe eventually. But so I don't really know what I think about general relativity.
Okay.
But there are a lot of things that seem weird, and one of them is, okay, so according to general relativity, we are accelerating upwards at 9.8 meters per second right now. Through space-time or through space, I'm not sure.
Through space, yeah.
Space-time, space. Objectively speaking, though, we are accelerating in that direction because the Earth is pushing us upwards. Now, let's just say we're starting at 0 meters per second. Every second, we're going 9.8 meters per second faster.
What would be the speed now?
Only takes us a year to go faster than the speed of light at that rate. But nobody's keeping track, so I guess that doesn't happen. Another thing, if let's say we're doing a podcast, I'm on the opposite side of the Earth. You guys are here, I'm way down there. But there's a constant distance between us, and yet we're also moving apart from each other technically and accelerating in our rate of motion the whole time without moving apart. Well, acceleration is distance over time. It's not anything else. So you can't say your distance hasn't changed, but you're also accelerating without warping the concepts or like undermining them.
Yeah, it is only possible if you introduce an extra special dimension.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it might be happening that space matter is like kind of working like a vacuum cleaner, and it's like sucking the space around it.
Okay.
So when you are standing on top of on Earth, then what is happening is you are not accelerating, but the space around you is accelerating through you in the direction of the center of Earth. So our motion with respect to space is experiencing the acceleration 9.8 meters per second square. So that might explain this a little bit.
It's an interesting. I've tended to think of gravity as space suction too. Yeah, but then again, I don't really know what space is. Like space is kind of just a coordinate system.
Yeah. If space is just a coordinate system, then we should like give a different name to what is happening in relativity and gravity itself. We can't say that we have a coordinate system and that is getting curved and distorted due to some reason.
Yeah, it just means we're playing around with our ideas.
Yeah, we should have something that is experiencing the distortion. What if we call it ether?
Yeah. Well,
why not? Right?
I think if ether exists, just personally, I could change my mind though. I could change my mind, but if ether exists, it would be a medium, but it wouldn't have a location in velocity space. So unlike air and water, it's somehow moving in all directions and all speeds at the same time. But still, it's a medium. Weird, eh?
Yeah, super medium.
Yeah, super medium, sure.
Can we call are there scientists naming ether and space as same thing?
Actually, ether has been ignored like science does to religion, you know. Science always tries to be different from religion. They make a lot of effort to keep it apart from religion. If religion is telling that this is truth, they try their best to find something opposite.
Okay.
So, talking about the recent evidences which points that Earth might be holding a special position in this universe. It's a very big problem in modern science because we find a lot of peer-reviewed journals who are publishing these kind of observations and conclusions. So, but if just imagine science accepts that Earth holds a special position in this universe, it's far more special than Andromeda galaxy, it's special than Mars, then it might be similar to religion, right? It can be compared to what religion has been telling us from like thousands of years ago. So whenever science tries to get closer to religion and the conclusions that religion has been giving us, it tries to get away from it. And ether is kind of same thing. There was a time when in 1987, Michelson-Morley experiment was done, and that was the day when the ether was like announced to be dead. There's nothing called ether. And after that, people are very much scared of including ether in their theory. That is never going to be accepted.
I don't know much about the history, but I'm wondering what did people do between 1807 and 1905 when they just didn't know the answer, right? What did they do?
You think about that? I sometimes think like people used to think, there's a time when people used to think Earth is the only thing in this universe, a significant thing, and the stars are just dots in the sky. They are just dots in the sky. They didn't even know that the bright dots that we are seeing is a galaxy. We didn't know that. Right?
Yeah.
And for 1400 years, how many generations might have passed? They thought that Earth is the most significant thing in this universe and everything else is just a background. That has happened for 1400 years. And then Copernicus came with a theory that no, we are revolving around sun and sun is revolving around black hole. Now we came to know that. So there might be a time when people might be looking back to us and telling like, oh, these guys for 110 years before Arif Ali came, they believed that light didn't have one-way speed. Come on. So there might be a time when like future kids are going to like laugh on us.
Then that means there could be a time as well when people will take light as kind of slowest thing,
Slowest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's a really good point.
Yeah?
Because not only, according to special relativity, not only is the speed of light a speed limit, you can't go faster. Light also can't go slower than the speed of light.
Yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword, right?
But that happens when light passes through medium, right?
Right. I mean, sorry, the speed of light in a vacuum.
Yeah,
You
in a vacuum.
always have to add that in, right?
And you know what? There's a particle. There's a particle that travels faster than light. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What is
Virtual
that?
particle.
Never heard.
No, the real one.
What are you even saying?
Muons,
No, I have something else.
tachyons.
No, that's a virtual one. A real one.
I think it's a particle from his dream.
No, it's real. It's a fact. So, what is the particle? What did I say? Faster than light. Not faster than light in vacuum. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So, in water,
Uh-huh.
there's a radiation called Cherenkov radiation. And in water, it travels faster than light. So, there's something that travels faster than light. If you do a race in water, then that's going to beat light. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
But here's a question I have for you. I don't know if you know the answer. We'll see. So the speed of light is supposed to be, you don't think it is, but it's supposed to be in the frame of reference of the observer at C.
Yeah.
When it's going through a medium at less than C, is it going through the medium at that, let's say it's 80% of C?
Yeah.
Is it going at 80% of C in the observer's frame, or is it going at 80% of C relative to the medium, like say water? And how would we know? Because it would be hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, it is hard to tell, but there might be something like light is facing experiencing a longer path when it comes to medium due to the refraction and other things. I'm not sure about this. I think we got to study on that.
Yeah.
Your question is much deeper than the medium of water there.
Yeah, it was like.
We talked about light, and I have one more fact about darkness, okay?
So shall I announce this
Yeah,
as
let's announce that.
weirdest fact round? So guys, this is the weirdest fact round in which Scientist Arif Ali is going to tell us a fact which is going to be very much interesting and very much unique.
Before telling that fact, everyone, including the viewers out there, close your eyes.
Really?
Yeah, close your eyes.
If I don't
For
do
just
it,
5 seconds.
We know that he is closing his eyes.
You can't cheat, okay? Okay.
Okay, I've closed my eyes.
5, 4, 3. Close your eyes, man.
I've
We
already.
have already closed.
Okay, I'm dead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. What did you see? What did you see?
A Nepalese guy and a Canadian guy is sitting just right in front of me. I just saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
After closing your eyes?
No, after closing my eyes, I could see nothing.
What did you see when you closed your eye?
While your eyes were
closing
closed.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh,
nothing, like darkness.
Darkness, black, right?
Darkness,
Pitch black.
yeah.
What did you see? Same, right?
Same.
But here's the fact. When you close your eyes, you don't see color black. There is a special color.
Uh-huh.
The color is called Eigengrau.
Eigengrau sounds
Yeah.
German.
Eigengrau. Grau is from gray and Eigen is kind of darker shade of gray. So Eigengrau is a special color named for like whenever you close your eyes, that is the color that you see.
I see kind of more like an orange.
Orange.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking right now is somebody who made this color, and then there might be the things that he's only seeing that, and everybody else is seeing a different color,
Maybe we have a different shade in our eyes.
and he's seeing orange.
Maybe because of the daylight. Maybe if it's night, I'm sure it's different. Like in night, you see like all this,
Yeah, fuzzy kind of
what
thing.
do you call it? Noise.
Noise. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. You can see lots of things if you pay attention to it, right? You can.
Yeah.
If it's pitch black, I like that, how your imagination can sort of, I don't know, who knows what you're seeing, and maybe your subconscious can influence it. And
Yeah. And whenever you sit for a meditation,
Mhm.
what happens is in the beginning I don't know about other experiences, but my experience, initially I could just sit for meditation for like 5 to 10 minutes at max. I couldn't like keep up with the closed eyes and just like trying to think nothing. Get out
Can
of
we use phone while doing like meditation or not?
Yeah, you can do that.
For a concentration kind of.
Phone is saying.
Yeah, you can use anything.
just focus on your
But
phone.
but it just depends on what result you are going to get.
Okay. I'm not going to use the phone then.
So whenever you try to meditate, you get a lot of different thoughts and a lot of different colors. Yeah. You have also tried meditation, so you see a lot of colors running, this that, and initially it's very fast, the change of colors and the jiggling, all of the things. And when time passes, you kind of see things getting steady and steady and steady. And there's a time when you forget everything, like beyond the darkness. And that usually started to happen to me when I started doing meditation above 20 to 25 minutes, and like now I do around 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. And once you reach there, the point when things are like static, that is the point you started seeing things that is inside. What did it say? That when you close your eyes to do meditation, you've got to start seeing inward. We have 2 eyes to see outward and 1 eye to see inward.
Is it like Shivaji ko tesro aakha? Like third eye of.
Yeah, we can say that third eye of Shiva, or you can say the pineal gland. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So once you start seeing inward, then things are very different from the colors that you see here. Very different. I had like very different experience when I started meditation.
Do you know some reptiles actually do have a third eye right here?
Yeah.
At least one. At least the one I mentioned before, the tuatara,
Yeah.
has a third eye right up here.
Really?
Yes. But it's more in the juveniles, and it closes up as they get older.
Oh. Even in snakes, we see a mark here, right? There's a mark, kind of Om or some kind of mark at the point.
Interesting. Isn't it?
Have you experienced any weird, like something while going for meditation or any spiritual thing?
I had interesting experiences. Yeah. It's been a while since I meditated because for reasons I don't think I'll go into, but I don't do breath work anymore. That's the thing. I learned how to do it with breath work. I've never learned any other ways, so I'd like to learn other ways. But the way I see it, I studied psychology, so I sort of understand how it works in terms of habituation, right? So like if I rest my arm here, first I feel the couch, I feel everything, If I hold it for a few seconds, eventually I don't feel anything. Anything that you do over and over again, or you, if anything's constant, anything that's like a stimulation, like mostly we just notice changes.
Yeah.
Right. So if anything's steady, our brain quickly adapts and says, "Okay, I'm going to ignore that."
Just like our nose, right?
Yeah. So
It lies in the vision, but our eyes ignores it. It's called perpetual adaptation. You just ignore the things that's static.
Yeah.
And
so if like you put glasses on top of your head, you'll forget they're there because
yeah.
you can't feel them anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But so I feel like it's a way of deliberately getting habituation going for everything, so you can just ignore everything.
Everything.
And then what do you focus on? What do you pay attention to? Something else. Something will come into your head. But at the same time, you're really thinking about your thoughts. So you're kind of watching yourself, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing. And you're also trying to maintain balance the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the more balance you maintain, the easier it is to do nothing, right? When things are really in balance, you're almost like floating, right? Because you're not putting effort into anything. Everything just flows. Yeah. And you're not using any energy. You're slowing everything down, consuming less. Time slows down or speeds up. No, slows down. So yeah, that's what I've learned.
And you have studied like psychology as well.
So habituation, that's coming directly from psychology.
Can you teach us something like kind of mind reading or something like that?
No, everyone, I really think everyone is a mind reader. Because that's, we evolved so much brain power before we learned language. Like, we're really good with language. But we had to communicate before language. Yeah. And we had to figure everything out. What's going on in everyone's head? Right? There's body language. There's all kinds. There's pheromones, right? You're getting it through your nose. You're getting it through all sorts of inputs. And your brain is so good at like just taking a little bit of information and figure out, okay, I know what's going on, right? But most of this is subconscious because we use our conscious brain to communicate. So we have to become conscious of something before we can verbalize it.
Yeah.
But there's so much that we already know that we can't put into words. Language is a new thing. So, there's a lot to be said for intuition, and sometimes most things that we know, we just kind of know. And the way we know is mysterious, and it's not logic. It's not that we slowly, methodically figured it out, and it's not that we can articulate it, but we just know a lot of things. So we are kind of psychic, and there might be some higher power or some like mystical forces connecting people and giving them ideas. Who knows? I kind of believe in that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to intuition and psychic, I guess.
Sixth sense.
Sixth senses, yeah.
And talking about Imran, so like our musical Einstein, he is like familiar with a lot of different languages. He has even run a whole event in Telugu language. It's a South Indian language. He knows Hindi, he knows English, he knows like Maithili, Bhojpuri, Telugu, and he understands very well Bangla and many other. But I have a question for three of you, okay? Which is the language that travels fastest? Chinese, French, you can make any guess.
Language?
Which is the language that travels fastest?
Actually, it is going to depend on the medium that the language is traveling.
Actually.
No, I want one language actually from each of you. Which language travels fastest? Give it a try.
So,
Like, you want a scientific answer or just
Wrong answer? Wrongest answer?
No, it's rightest answer. I want the right answer. Which language travels fastest? Come on, give a guess.
do we have some options?
South Indian language like Tamil, Telugu, because they speak very fast.
So you're talking traveling not over space. You're talking like condensed time over time, right?
Over time, yeah. Good guess. Now yours. I want one from D.
Okay, so it's like I think it's Which language? Do we have some options here?
No.
No options. So I think
Make a wild guess.
it's Indians,
Indian,
because
okay,
like
Indian language.
they have a lot of populations, and then they're
That's a weird reason. So yeah.
Pig Latin.
Yeah?
Pig Latin.
Pig Latin. Okay. Okay. So do you want the answer?
yeah.
Do you want the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the speed that sound travels, It's like
3 lakh kilometer per second?
Sound. It's like around
sound.
320 maybe? I'm not sure about this. Okay, we know sound has a speed, okay? Okay. So
Well,
what is the
depends on-
fastest language? What is the fastest language? Sign language.
Ah, light. Speed
Speed of light.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sign language. If I do this to you, then you are going to get it far faster than sound, right?
Oh, that was a good one, man.
Pheromones are much slower.
Which
Pheromones. You know the hormone
But now I feel like at least
that you smell,
close,
right? Smell, the language that's transmitted through smells.
yeah,
Very slow.
very slow.
It's very slow.
Depends on the medium, right?
The slowest one.
Yeah.
Was this guy close to the answer?
No.
Because he's talking about the speed of light, and I'm nowhere near to speed of light.
Okay, so let's move on to wrongest answer round. Okay,
Yeah.
in this round, we are going to ask our people a question, and then you have to give not the wrong answer. You have to give the wrongest answer. So the wrongest you
Are
can
we
give.
ready?
Okay, so the question goes like this. Okay, so how many days has it been for Geoffrey in Nepal? Is the question here. How much time? Okay, so I'm not talking about days here. I was like, how much time? And
How long have you been?
Pi divided by I to the
my
power of mu.
how much is that, guys?
You have to calculate it.
You have to calculate it.
And that was actually a very good answer.
Very good wrong answer, right?
Good, wrong answer, but
So the next question to Imran.
Uh-huh.
What is the color of pink?
What is the color of pink? I would say something like blue.
Close enough. Close enough.
Like the color of light, maybe?
Okay, you perfect answer. Blue was close enough.
Wrong enough.
Wrong enough.
Color of elephants?
Yeah.
Elephants?
Elephants.
Elephants are pink, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this saying, don't think of a pink elephant?
Yeah.
Think of
And-
Don't do it. Don't think of a pink elephant.
I already did it.
You can't, if someone tells you not to think about something, it's impossible not to think.
Yeah, I just thought of an elephant, pink elephant with hairs and skirts as well.
skirt.
Pink, it's pink elephant, right?
Okay, so another question to Arif sir.
Moving on to the next round.
so for you, the question is like it's going to be tough.
Okay.
It's like
Fingers
kind of
crossed.
tough, So what's 2 plus 2? Is the
2
question.
plus 2.
2 plus 2 and
27?
how's that even possible, man?
So let's do some music and get back to physics.
Let's do it.
Let's do some music.
And just check it if you want.
So, this is my first original song that I uploaded on my YouTube channel. So, this song is called Chandrama, which means moon. So, this song is dedicated to all the selenophiles, all the moon lovers. It's a Nepali song. Mayalu, let me take you to the moon. Kati tara hola tyo तारा र त्यो जुन म भन्ने छु कति टाढा छ भनी यदि जाने हो तिमी मसँग चन्द्रमा नभएको मेकअप धेरै पेलोडले गीत ती चाहिँ टाढा भन्दा 10 सर्कल पृथ्वीको न्युटन चाहिँ क्ल्यारिटी बिट गरौँ ग्राभिटी अनि बल्ल भेट्छ गाडीले स्के भेलोसिटी
Oh, nice break. And you know, like when you ask, if you go and ask Einstein, what's time? Then he's going to answer the fourth dimension is time, you know. And then if you ask a corporate guy, what's time? And then he would say, like, I don't know, it's just 6 p.m. And then if it's 6 p.m., then I get to go to my home to enjoy. And if I ask,
Say time is money.
yeah, some people say time is money. Now, I'm going to ask Sir Geoffrey, what is time?
What is
Oh
time?
boy. We all know what it is instinctively.
Yeah.
But it's so many things. However, I think of it as our concept of time is tied to the rotation of Earth
Yeah.
in space. So one rotation is 1 day, but although that would be this what they call the sidereal day, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's it's a different, slightly different from the amount of time it takes for the sun to rise in the morning from one day to the next. It's actually not exactly 24 hours,
Yeah.
right? But anyway, if we go by the sidereal day, it's like perfectly reliable. Even if it deviates by like a nanosecond per day, who knows, right? It's very hard to measure things with such extreme precision. So that's what I think it is. We can ground it in the earth. We don't have to change it.
Yeah.
But there's so many other things that people talk about with time. Like how do you, like for example, you can't stand outside of time to observe it, right? Just like you can't be outside of motion to say how fast am I moving? How fast is time flowing? You can't say because you're in time.
What if clocks were not invented? What would happen and how would we like define time? I'm going to Kathmandu and how much time it is going to take? It is going to take somewhat like 50 times going up and down from like Bhadrapur to Jhapa. You like compare with
so that
those
would
kind
be
of
the
things.
references for time.
Yeah, time is kind of
Like if there would be no time, then there would be
No aging?
no derivations in physics, I guess, because almost everything in a derivation has got t in it, right?
yeah.
Most of the formulas or most of the ideas, theories. But if we would not have t or time, then there would be no velocity because t, no acceleration because it's t, and no momentum, like anything.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to like portray things.
Yeah, because everything, like most of the things are related to time.
Just imagine someone all of a sudden like thought of keeping time. They made a kind of device using sand. Okay, now I can like keep time. How much time is passing? How much I am aging? How long it is taking to take an apple to rot, like get rot, right? So if it's kind of we are comparing our evolution with something that is cyclic, and we chose the rotation of Earth as the cyclic thing that is happening.
And like we could have selected something else to take as the reference of time.
Yeah, we could have taken that.
Would there be any kind of difference or any kind of problem?
No, we are taking a reference of something that is cyclic. That is cyclic. It is taking same time to complete one cycle. So we have taken the reference of rotation of Earth because no one could stop it, no one could pause it, no one could delay it, right? It was not under the control of humans. And we took the rotation reference of revolution. Like we celebrate birthday, right? Why do we celebrate birth anniversary? Oh, we were on the same spot 1 year ago. That's what we were trying to say, right?
Correct.
Like repeating our position with respect to sun. So that was how timekeeping started most probably. And let's talk about time travel. I would love if you elaborate some more about time traveling.
So not to contradict what I said earlier, but I do believe in time travel because I'm traveling through time right now at 1 second per second.
Wow, okay, that's interesting. 1 second per second. Yeah, you're
I don't know if that's a meaningful statement, but it sounds good.
Second per second.
1 second per second.
Yeah.
So
That's
we are traveling.
yeah. We got that. We can feel it.
I also know that I can, if I wanted to, I could go a little bit further in time. I could extend my life, perhaps. I could cryogenically freeze myself and perhaps go to the future.
Yeah.
Visit 1,000 years from now.
You wouldn't like it, maybe.
Maybe I would love it. I don't know.
Who knows? Just imagine someone, a forager, hunter, got an idea of time traveling, and he reaches right here. Okay, he arrives right here.
They're
In
going to
our
put him in
podcast.
jail, He's not going to understand the
Yeah.
language. He's not going to understand, like, what are they eating, I just need meat.
He's not going to understand anything around here. Like this laptop, mic, and dresses. Oh, what are these? These are some different creatures, right?
And
He has to understand because he had so much knowledge to build a time machine. He must have better technology than that.
that's actually correct. Yeah.
Like when we...
Invented that machine, right? So he should have knowledge about all this.
I invented it and I kept him inside. Now what is going to be the case?
No, that might be different. He won't even understand what these 4 animals are doing here. Like we are animals, he's animal, and if we see some, let's say 4 dogs sitting together with some weird kind of stuffs in front of them, you don't understand.
You could have taken some other animals.
Yeah.
But then,
Any.
so when we are talking about time travel, one thing that strikes to my mind is energy. I think we are going to need humongous amount of energy. I was always curious to ask, how can we manifest massive energy, so that we can even do some warp space, travel, create the wormholes, and then travel instantaneously, kind of thing. How can we lead to lot of energy?
So one thing I didn't mention was I know we can travel forwards in time. We're doing it now. We could go way, way forwards in time if we wanted to,
Yeah.
possibly. And if time dilation is real, that could be done too, because the faster you move, the slower time goes, whatever. But going backwards in time, that creates a risk of a time loop paradox, and that shouldn't be allowed, right? Because you might change something that would ruin,
Yeah, there are many paradoxes when it comes to traveling backward in time. What is the most interesting that you
grandfather,
The grandfather.
you kill your grandfather or something.
Yeah.
Last time I heard about grandfather paradox, I asked my brother why do we call it grandfather paradox? Then he told me we have to go back, and if we kill the grandfather, then I said him the theory can also be named father paradox.
No, but then,
Our father.
it's if you name it a father paradox,
your father is going to recognize you,
So let that be grandfather paradox.
To make it easier, you can do it great grandfather paradox.
yeah.
Great grandmother would work too, but
Because if somebody wants to kill his father by doing the time travel, and then maybe mystically he reaches to a time where his child was already born.
Yeah. Ramro. I liked it.
That paradox is not going to be called a paradox.
So the paradox didn't want to take any risk,
due to the butterfly effect, though, you might just meet an older version of yourself and just do something very gentle, not killing anybody. Like the killing thing is just to make it a powerful example, right? But you could just subtly whisper something and give them an idea, and that changes the entire course of their life, and then you disappear.
Buy the bitcoins, yeah, and sell them on this date. That's more than enough. Or give him a very good research paper.
Yeah, that could be.
Enjoy Nobel Prize.
Have you guys seen Back to the Future, the movie?
Back to the Future.
It's a classic movie. There's actually 3. So most movies that come out suffer from sequelitis. So you see the first First movie, and then there's a sequel, and then it's terrible.
Yeah.
And then the third one is terrible too.
Yeah.
Back to the Future was an amazing movie. That's why there's all these memes about it and everything. Back to the Future Part 2 was even better. And Back to the Future Part 3 was excellent. 3 movies, you can watch them back to back. It's like 8 hours of high quality. And it's all about time travel.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. It's something like most people in North America have seen. But anyway, it's
Okay. I would ask you about the movie, but I would love to watch it and not like get spoiled.
No spoiler.
No
We'll
spoiler.
directly watch the movie, right?
Yeah.
I have a small question about light. Shall I ask?
Yeah. You are
We
here
have,
to ask
like-
questions.
No,
We
I
have
thought
some
that
serious
why would
light.
I change the course of the discussion? So I just asked. I have a question especially for Sir Geoffrey. People say that we can see the light travels, the light does this. But what I thought, light is the only thing that we cannot see. We can see everything other than light. This statement might be confusing, but I'd like to elaborate it. Let's say there is a bulb and it's pitch dark in this room, and I just switched on the bulb. Now that bulb is radiating some light energy, right? That's what is happening. Light energy is coming out from that bulb, and because of that light energy, I'm able to see this microphone or the laptop or whatever is in front of me. So what is happening is I'm able to see the microphone, right?
Due to light.
But you
Due to
are
light.
not able
But I'm
to
not
see
seeing the
light.
light, right?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Am I correct or
we
I'm
can go
being
the
very
other way as well.
Yeah,
We
are you
might-
seeing the dark when the lights are off?
Nah, I don't know that.
No, we can see the other way as well. We can't see anything other than light.
But what I think is we can see everything.
Okay, let's get
This is kind of a semantics kind of thing. A lot of philosophical questions are matters of semantics. Like, what do you mean? See the light. I open up my second chapter of But Where's the Rainbow? With the question, can we see light?
Yeah.
And then I proceed to answer that. Basically, no, we can't.
Okay. So I can get the exact answer of what I asked in your book.
No.
And the answer is no.
It's just, because we're not really seeing light, we're seeing objects. And even if you're looking at a rainbow, there's no object there, and you're not seeing the light. You're just But in some sense, the light's interacting with you, so you're seeing it. But that's
But not seeing it.
it's not what you're interested in, right? You don't care about light. Light's just helping you to see, kind of like concepts. We don't care about concepts, unfortunately. But concepts help us to understand the world, to navigate, to get what we want, etc. Right? Light is the same way. It's just there to gather information so we can figure out where we are, what's around us.
Yeah, for example, when we can see things because of sunlight, right? The day is so bright due to sunlight. Okay, so everything is bright due to sunlight. And sunlight is traveling a long way to reach Earth, right? But when you go in the space between Earth and Sun, somewhere between Earth and Sun, you'll find darkness.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat?
The space is dark between Earth and Sun, but Earth is bright.
Yeah.
The space is dark. The darkness is due to the absence of things that is going to reflect or refract or scatter our light. There is nothing.
Light needs something to reflect.
And it's interesting that it's dark, given that it does nothing, right? Because usually something's dark if it absorbs light.
Yeah.
Maybe it kind of does absorb light. That's an open question. Nobody knows the answer, right? There probably it does. It does absorb light because there are little particles of gas and dust and stuff floating out in empty space, right? But yeah.
You know what? I had a very weird idea when I was first into relativity. When I heard that however fast we travel toward the source of light, that is not going to impact on the relative speed between the observer and the light.
So you're talking about the second postulate of
special relativity.
relativity.
Yeah. So there is a source of light, and you put on the light. Light is like traveling toward me at speed 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, right? And if I'm moving toward the source at almost close to the speed of light,
Let's say 99%.
even in that case, I'm going to see the light at the same speed. There is no addition of speed between the observer and the light itself. So I had an idea, like there might be something like a condition as soon as light is emitted. Emission of light is nothing related to the traveling. Nothing related to traveling. And as soon as you put on the light, it travels in such a way that it first like scans everything around us. And it strikes the first disturbance. It strikes the first disturbance at speed c, in a way that
That's a really good idea.
that the distance per time is c.
Yeah. That's how I sort of think of it too. Yeah. Like think of it as like you have a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And there's a charge building up.
Yeah.
And then at some point it randomly decides where the discharge is going to
Yeah.
kind of like, but it's not, it sort of like happens after the fact. I'm not sure if I'm being that clear, but that's how I think of it. Yeah. It's like there's this moment of exploring all possibilities.
Yeah.
Then something's decided and then that becomes what we see.
Such that
It's a
this
selection.
yeah. It is very close to your theory, right?
Expanding, that's how evolution works, right? That's how creativity works, right? You destroy most of what you create because it's not worth it. It's not good. You pick the one thing that you thought of, the random thing that you thought, oh, that might work. Oh, and it is good, and we keep that and we destroy everything else. That's what artists do. That's what everyone who's creative does. They try everything and they kill everything that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's what the universe somehow does.
Yeah.
Like light does it, and like matter does it.
So it's very weird when we start talking about the light, how it travels, and how it is so different from all other things that we like experience in this universe. When it comes to any matter that we see, the sun, the stars, earth, dust particles that we see, and light, they are actually very different. And even Sir Geoffrey has talked about light as a super wave. We have waves in ocean, right? We have waves of sound in air. But light is a super wave. That's what your theory tells. And it's a very interesting concept. It would be great if we get to hear more about it. The super wave.
So one way I like to talk about a super wave is I say, you know what a particle is, but not what physicists consider a particle, right? Because we've redefined particle as an excitation in a field, which is a wave. But think about a billiard ball, right? Or a rock, okay? A particle can only travel in a specific, if you throw it, one specific direction at a time.
Yeah.
That's a particle. A wave travels in all directions. Like a sound wave actually goes in all directions at the same time.
Yeah.
a
super wave goes in all directions and all speeds,
all speeds.
at the same time. So it's like
all direction and all different speed. Like let's say light is being emitted from this microphone, and the particle of the light is not only that the speed of light, but it also has some particles which is at different speeds. Are we talking?
Different speeds in such a way that the observer experience the travel of light at speed c. All the observers, if it is moving towards the source or away from the source or standing still.
So the kind of we say Doppler effect in sound wave, that is not going to hamper to the light, right?
No, just the frequency difference occurs, not the speed.
one other way to think about it. So the analogy is good. So there's what do you call it? A simile, or there's a way of saying this, but you say a particle, a super wave is to a wave as a wave is
to a particle. Yeah.
That's how I think of it. And to visualize it, think of a firework. when you see a firework explode, some parts of that firework are going really fast in all directions. Some are going slower. Some are going very slow. So at the end, you see these little balls of light. Some of them are way out here. Some of them are here. Some of them are here. Some of them are here. After like half a second, right?
Yeah.
So it's going at multiple speeds and multiple directions at the same time. It's covering a wide area in velocity space. And that's what I think light does. It covers a very large area in velocity space. I don't know how large. It could be infinite. It could be finite. It could be any size. It has to be enough, though, to make it look like the second postulate is true.
And then second postulate is kind of weird, like they say like even if you're traveling at 10% or maybe 90%, and I think Arif did a demonstration in which he puts like a rocket, somebody in a bicycle and somebody in a car and a guy who is going in the opposite direction.
There's a race.
There's a race going on, and then the race said when I do this, they stop moving towards the source.
Yeah.
And from there, from opposite side, they just emit the light, and then they say like, as per the Einstein's postulate, it is said that they all three, somebody who is going on a rocket, and somebody is going on a bike, or somebody is walking, or somebody that is going in the opposite direction, are going to meet the light at the same time. So how?
There's a complication with that though, and it goes back to Einstein. What do you mean at the same time? We started. We said this happened at the same time, but what do we mean? I don't really agree with Einstein's definition of simultaneity. So I can say, we can say it was at the same time.
Knew that, then I think we would be able to calculate the one-way speed of light as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different matter to discuss about.
Very good one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? We can't measure one-way speed of light.
Yeah, that's what I was shocked. I did not know about this earlier back. Like, I just knew the speed of light. We know the speed of light. But I did not know that we know the average speed of light moving, what we call it, like two-way, right?
Average of.
So we don't know about the one way.
Yeah. Actually, it's not that we don't know. The thing is, we are following a theory that doesn't allow you to measure one-way speed of light. It says that to measure one-way speed of light, you need to have two synchronized clocks. And the milaunu paru, you need to have same time. And to synchronize two clocks, we need to know the one-way speed of light. So it's a loop.
It's a loop.
So what kind of experiment?
Is it kind of impossible practically or theoretically?
It's theoretically impossible if you follow that framework of like finding.
What if I say, no, I'm not going to follow anything, but I'm going to prove, or I'm going to like
prove it, get the Nobel prizes.
Yes, it's not that easy.
Find the one-way speed of light and get the Nobel prize.
I've heard someone say this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but a long time ago, it is true that somebody, I can't remember who it was, did measure the speed of light by looking at, I think it was Saturn or some planet, and they measured the time it took for the moon
to revolve around. Yeah.
And now
Jupiter's moon.
If that way of measuring that amount of time is independent of the speed of light, like if we have some idea of knowing when that event occurred, that's independent of the speed of light, I'm not sure if we do, then we could use that was actually a measurement of the one-way speed of light.
So there are some possible ways to know the one-way speed of light, but we haven't got the way right.
Even if you find the one-way speed of light, Einstein's relativity is not going to accept it. Because there is a kind of fundamental problem in measuring one-way speed of light when it comes to relativity.
If you look at Einstein's
Is it possible to kind of, let's say, do any kind of experiment on Earth and prove or find out the one-way speed of light?
What I'm saying is, fundamental, the way we see science, the way we know about space and time, what defines space and time today? It's relativity, right?
Right.
And the theory itself doesn't allow you to measure the one-way speed of light. When you read the paper of Albert Einstein on the electrodynamics of moving bodies, you will find an assumption where he says by definition, he just talks about the average of the two-way speed of light, and he makes a very
And it's on the
strong
first
assumption.
page. Like I think it's on the paper on the electrodynamics of moving
not
bodies,
not in
right?
the first page, somewhere in the
But
middle.
it's just in the postulates.
The entire theory of relativity doesn't need the one-way speed of light.
Kind of.
Actually, they're relying on the definition that one-way speed of light and two-way speed of light are equal. But if that breaks, then Einstein relativity is like kind of.
It's interesting because I remember a long time ago when I was trying to, like, I always try to solve things myself to see if they're right? So like I tried to derive Einstein's special theory of relativity from the just first, the postulates and just from the first principles,
Okay.
right? And when I did that, I was like, oh, this doesn't work. This theory doesn't work.
Mm.
And the reason reason it didn't work for me is because I was considering the one-way speed of light.
Mm.
So I was, doing the light clock, and okay, it works when you have the mirrors oriented like this.
Mm.
But if they're moving and it's like oriented on an angle, it doesn't work. And you get like a weird syncopated beat.
Mm.
But it's not only that. I came up with this bird thought experiment where a bird is, this bird behaves like light. So the bird is always going the same speed in all frames of reference.
Mm.
But you can see the bird. You don't need light. Like you see the bird with light, so it's okay, right? So we have something going faster than light to verify it.
Mm.
But there is no way, like you can play around with time. So you could say, this observer's time is contracted. This observer's time is or dilated.
Mm.
And you could say length is contracting or not for different observers.
Mm.
But if you do that, you change one thing, you change everything, and there's no way to make the observations fit. There's no way that each person sees the same speed of light.
Mm.
If we assume a one-way speed of light is real.
Mm.
If we assume there's no such thing as the one-way speed of light is a totally meaningless construct, all you have is an averaged two-way speed of light.
Mm.
So the light was here, it was there, it was back, and it doesn't tell us how long how fast it was going. It only tells us how long it took to go there and back, and that's all we're allowed to know.
Yeah.
Then it works. Then the theory works. But that's the only way the theory works. But it's always taught to students as if, like there's the train example, the headlights of the train,
Yeah.
right? They're told the train's light actually does go away from them, even though they can't see it at the speed of light. And also, but it's not even true.
Mm. Because we don't
Sorry
know
if
the
I'm
one-way
going too
speed of light.
fast. Yeah.
No, it's just completely fine. We are understanding, we are trying to understand, we are trying to grasp whatever you're saying, and I'm certainly going to check the chapter that you said where you're talking about the light, is it visible or not? And that.
And guys, to get the book from But Where is the Rainbow, I'm certainly going to put the link in the description below. You can get it all around the world, and I'm also going to put the link for From Newton to Now, written by Scientist Arif Ali as well, so you can get it.
And we are going to take a small break. तपाईलाई आश्चर्य लाग्छ होला, WHO को तथ्याङ्क अनुसार हरेक 6 जना मध्ये 1 जनालाई इन्फर्टिलिटीको समस्या हुन्छ र यो समस्या नेपालमा पनि देखिएको छ। तर अब चिन्ता गर्नु पर्दैन। काठमाडौँको जमलमा अवस्थित नेशनल IVF सेन्टरको कटिङ एज टेक्नोलोजी, एक्सपर्ट टिम र हाई सक्सेस रेट
र यसले बनाउँछ नेसनल IVF सेन्टरलाई नेपालकै भरपर्दो फर्टिलिटी सेन्टर। नेसनल IVF सेन्टरको अफिसियल वेबसाइटमा गएर पहिलो अपोइन्टमेन्ट बुक गर्नुहोस्।
And thank you National IVF Center for the partnership with AD Podcast.
So guys, welcome back after a break. So we spoke on a vast and varieties of topics today with Sir Geoffrey, with Scientist Arif Ali, with D-Dai. We covered some interesting topics about
And I would like to announce something, like in our next podcast we are going to do a giveaway of iPhone 15 Pro Max. So stay tuned, and your one comment from your ID, from your mom's ID, from your dad's ID, from your sister's ID, from your brother's ID, one comment can get you an iPhone 15 Pro Max. So stay tuned for the next episode, like we did in our about 2 episodes earlier. Yeah. So stay tuned, guys.
So thank you everyone for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Do subscribe and do support our channel. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
And do subscribe the Musical Einstein channel. You get to listen some great songs, and it would be very good if you
End of the show.
Give a brief conclusion
about our
About the discussion. How was it and
So-
how is it going?
It's going well. We covered a lot of topics: dinosaurs, gravity,
Time,
time,
time travel.
right?
yeah, light. Gee, what did we not talk about? And yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. And that's a
Wrap up, guys. Thank you.
पानी परिरहेको गडङ गुडुङ रातैभरि मलाई के को चिन्ता म त थिएँ तिमीसँग गुड भाइब्स अनि मग मग स्मेल पनि फिल भइरहेको थियो मलाई मायाको तरङ्ग